What a beautiful track. And listening to the words carefully, I can say that the title of that track is Maninasi, not Meninesi, as I said before. Well, ke te whakarongo mai koutou ki Arrow FM, your community access radio station, and we're expecting a call very soon from Graham Joyce, who's the manager of Kapiti radio station, the access radio station there called Coast FM. I just put my headphones on because that's the only way I'll be able to hear him. Well, here we are. Isolation Blues. We're at level, what is it? Level 3. I knew that. And hopefully heading for level 2, another week of this, and then things should be feeling a lot more normal. Yesterday, that is, was the very first day that we had no extra cases of COVID-19 in New Zealand. So that's really good news. Really pleased about that. Will things hurry up? Will we be able to get back to normal life fairly soon? I think we may do. I just want to say, though, that what is normal life? Getting all philosophical here, I've done it before, but so turn off now if you can't bear it. But I don't think everything will be exactly the same, and I think we've learned many things during this period, and hopefully we'll put those into practice. I can see Graham there. Hi, Graham.
Good morning, Michael. How's life in the Wairarapa?
Well, you know what? I can only report on my little bubble part of it, but generally it's good. I tell you what good. I'm really enjoying is Veronica is back at work. She's been working from home and she came in yesterday, and life has got better.
I was thinking about that this morning because I was mulling over in my mind the things that we might talk about this morning. And one of the things that we miss is working together with our colleagues, people we know and love and or respect and have been with for 20 odd years, and all of a sudden,
oh, you've frozen. Don't know what that's about. Speak to me again.
Tell you what, Michael, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to change the link I'm on. I'll just flick onto that one.
Well, Graham says, and I quote, I'm just going to check on mine. And I trust that he's doing that very thing, whatever it was. So he's dropping out a little bit. Graham's pretty good with computers. So whatever it is that he said, he'll be doing that and there'll be an improvement. So Graham is the manager of Coast FM. And as he said, just like me, been working with somebody for many years.
I came back.
You came back, but interestingly, I'm hearing myself about 4 seconds later. But I can cope with that.
Well, we've had to cope with all sorts of things, like not being able to go to the cafe and buy my favourite coffees.
Oh, life's tough. Graham, just thinking of your work there at the Access Radio Station. What are the kind of things that you've had to put in place to keep connected with your community?
Well, let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. I could burst into song there.
I feel a song coming on.
Indeed. When you just look at Coast Access Radio, there are 3 paid staff, and we all have, without disclosing to national radio, various health issues and family requirements. So our decision was to shut the door the moment the lockdown started and walk out. Todd stayed there. So that was his bubble. Tanya stayed in Levin in her bubble, and I stayed home here in my house, albeit in my spare bedroom with a studio set up, in my own bubble. So we effectively separated ourselves out. It was the only safe thing to do. So it created some interesting ways to keep connected with the people that we work with. It's I won't say it's been perfect, but everybody's respected the difficulties, and it's actually been, well, is it fair to say a good experience? It's been an interesting experience.
An instructive one.
And yeah,
one from which we can learn.
We learned quite quickly that we needed to be very careful, because when we looked through our list of broadcasters, many of them are over 70. We have a number over 80. We've got our 90-year-olds have retired. And that's really the high-risk group. And
Too soon.
It seemed a bit ironic that we could be providing services to people and killing them at the same time. So, yeah. So what did you guys do? Did you do the similar sort of war and keep people out?
Well, yes. We closed down fairly quickly. We made sure we had a sign on the door saying that's it. No visitors, no broadcasters, program makers in. And that's when I began this program every morning, because I wanted to keep connected to the community. So I came here every weekday on my own. And just like you're calling in now, we had many call-ins. Some of them are our program makers. And in a couple of cases, they've grasped the technology sufficiently to be able to present their programs from home. Not many are doing that, but we're going to increase that. It seems to be working well. Ramil, who does a program about gambling harm, has guests on the program who both he and they appear visually. And I keep out of it. I just sit here in case anything goes wrong.
Right.
That's all I do. So
we've been doing similar.
So that's what we've been doing. Graham.
We Todd, I and Tanya have been ringing up people from around our community, but also people nationwide and internationally. Todd's got a heap of cousins in the States, as I have, and people. And we've just generally rung around the world and said, hey, tell us what it looks like for you. And the stories are all very similar. The positive side of me says this actually has revealed a really side of humanity. Have you been out walking each day?
Yeah.
Have you discovered a whole new etiquette as you walk down the footpath and you see a couple approaching? Your mental assessment. Are they older? Are they younger? And then one of you makes the choice to step out onto the road, and one lot stays on the footpath. And there's the obligatory wave, smile. You even stop and chat, albeit over 2 meters, and then carry on. And there's a lovely warmth. There's a whole new discovery of the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's like going back into the past when I think that was much more the way people nobody passed each other without saying hello. And now not only are we saying hello, but as you say, having conversations across the gulf.
Yes. And I've been intrigued a number of times by younger people who look at us and you can see the extent of us to speak to them. Now, 6 months ago, they would have just ridden past and gone, a couple of old codgers walking on the footpath. But now there's an expectation that we will interact with them. Quite delightful.
Yeah. Graham, do you have plans, as they say, going forward, about when you will start to introduce people back into the station? We're not entirely sure because we're not sure what the level 2 guidelines are going to be. But we're starting to plan bringing people back in. How's it going to work at your place?
Probably quite similar to you. When we stepped into the start of this week, let me rephrase that. Up until last week, Todd was the only person allowed into the station. Door was locked, no admittance. Graham was coming in later after Todd had left, so we had a bubble separation for both of them. As at this week, Tanya has returned to the station, but we're still excluding broadcasters and the public. We are going to get together when the levels change and actually think about who and how we let in. For example, I'm not going back. I'm quite happy to talk about this. I've got severe heart and lung problems. For me to expose myself to anything is foolish. So I will stay working at home, and I guess we're going to do it on a broadcaster by broadcaster basis and say, what's your age, what's your health risks, do you want to come in, or do you want to keep what we're doing now, which is via Messenger and Skype and telephone to record their programs.
Right. So you are using those electronic internet-based means to record people's programs.
Yep, we are. And so here at home in the spare bedroom, I've set up a complete, albeit a bit crude, and we live with the quality we get. Some phone call programs we do, or whether they be Messenger or Skype or whatever, some of them are superb, some of them are not quite so good. But hey, we can live with that because we're still communicating with our community. We're still getting their stories out, and we can live with at this point a slightly diminished quality on some programs, but not all. In fact, some are so good you can't tell it's been made in their back bedroom talking on their cell phone.
Well, this is the fabulous thing about modern technology, that it puts the means of production back in the hands of normal people who aren't necessarily trained as audio engineers, and they don't have studios and things. And I think that as access broadcasters, we're so much about community and the different cultures that we represent. Although we do our best to maintain high audio standards, we can cope so long as the voice is true.
Indeed. Look, we're big people now. We can live with slightly diminished quality. It's only for a time. It's only for a season. But yet we've still got the children's program running. Marie records in her front room up Otaki, and occasionally we've had slamming doors or whatever as other people in her bubble move around. But, that's life. There's no point in trying to disguise it and hide it. Just embrace it. So when a door slams in the background, you go, oops, okay, carry on. Such is life.
Well, I think you said a mouthful there when you said that's life. Because that's all we're trying to do is reflect life, reflect people's lives, the great variety of lives that go to make up our community. And if we pretend all the time that we're in this perfect hermetic bubble, acoustic paneling, no noise from the outside, it's an unnecessary pretense. I quite like the sound of banging doors, the sound of the dog in the distance.
Yeah, the cat jumped up on my keyboard the other day, and we had a little purring contest. She won, but that's the way it is.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
One thing I wanted to say was, and this is a deliberate and unashamed advertisement, Spark have been absolutely good for us. We needed to set up an external broadband connection from here at home back to the radio station. They were superb. Within probably under a day, they set up an external connection for us, and it runs via the 4G phone network, but just absolutely wonderful. There was never a problem. We had a few techie things to solve, and it was done with good cheer, and really impressed. They came to the party because they wanted to be good people, and they were. So everybody, Spark did a superb job for us here in
Great. So you mean this call that you're making at the moment, that's on the phone connection rather than on internet-based.
I have actually swapped it back off the 4G connector back onto my own home broadband because it was getting a bit drop outy, which it does occasionally. But I've been running a morning program out of my spare bedroom, every morning from 9 until 10. Todd does the early shift. I take over and give him an hour's break. And apart from 1 or 2 days and little minor glitches, it's run really well. It's a very clever bit of kit.
Yeah. Well, we've all had to be a little bit innovative. Each station, it seems to me, has got a different way of ensuring that everybody's voices gets heard. Our way has been with the television, which we're very pleased with being able to present that. You've got your 4G connection from home, which means you never have to go back into work, Graham.
Well, that's true, actually. Look, for me, this has been a little bit of an interesting exercise because I'm coming towards retirement in the next month or so. And so this is kind of my pre-retirement course. How to stay permanently.
Yeah. So you got a succession plan.
Yeah, it's all in place. Yep. Albeit with a few things to be fine-tuned because this enforced breakaway has caused normal things don't happen. But hey, isn't this let's get philosophical for a moment. We're in a brave new world doing things quite differently. Do we want to go back to how it was before? There are things that I like and value about our new look community. The smile, the talk, the not having to do things in such a rush. Do we need to go back to exactly what it was 100% before COVID-19 struck us? It's a good question.
And I don't think we will.
We can't.
I think even ministers and people have been saying that. We've learned a lot from this. And it's not just, whilst I appreciate what you say about the smiles and the social connection. There's also less pollution happening. There's efficiencies from using the internet to connect rather than feeling you have to physically be at every meeting. So there's much that we've learned, and I agree that we probably shouldn't return to business as usual.
Indeed, it would be it'd be sad if we had spent all this time and just went back to the same old grind. But let's be fair though. Some of it has to return because otherwise we're going to starve. The businesses are going to fold up, and we will simply stop functioning. So there is a degree it has to come back, or most of it, I guess, but not necessarily in the same methodology.
Yeah, that's right. Well, look, Graham, it's been fabulous having you on. We in the access sector will be very sad when your retirement kicks in, but I imagine you'll be quite chuffed. And you deserve the rest that we all eventually get to have. We've had a lifetime of hard work. I hope you enjoy every moment of it.
I will. Well, I'm going to stay on as a volunteer, which is it a busman's holiday? So Heather and I, my wife and I, do one program. I've got another one which I do myself. So we're going to keep doing those, and I'm going to volunteer in the station doing their techie support and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it'll be the same, but at a slower pace and no pay.
Yeah. Well, good on you, Graham. Thanks very much. Being on Isolation Blues with me this morning and having a good chat, getting a bit of an insight into how different stations handle this period of isolation. And one day, be able to get over there, and bubbles will be a thing of the past, and it'll be great to have a look around your station once again.
Look forward to it.
All right. See you, Graham. Right. Well,
Right.
that was Graham over there.
That was Graham over there in Kapiti. This is me.
And speaking of Kapiti, that's just what I feel like. A cup of coffee. And I can hear Veronica banging around out there, and she'll be thinking the same. So
I'll join her.
any second.
This has been
Isolation Blues.
Tomorrow, talking with Anna Nielsen
of
Destination Wairarapa
about the
about
Love Local
campaign and
all sorts of other great
initiatives
that they've got going there.
Until then,
what?
life continues.
Life continues.
You get that.
See ya.